this is Janie from asoulfulteacher.com, and today I'm going to discuss this. This is the Erin Condren Teacher Lesson Planner Binder. I have been in a teacher planner from Erin Condren for around 6 years. I think this is going to be my 6th year in an Erin Condren planner. But this is the first year for this planner that is in a binder. So I'm going to walk you through how I use it as a high school teacher who teaches electives. So I am teaching currently principles of education and training and child development. So it's one of those things that it's a little different for me. If you don't know what these courses fall under, it's career and technology under the sub-department of family consumer science. So I'm excited to share this with you, and let's get to it. So let's talk the guts of this planner, and they are beautiful. So we already see a little bit of an issue. As you can see, this is torn on the title page of the planner. I don't know if it was because the holes are way too close to the edge, or it was just me being messy and not handling it with care. So not a problem. I'm going to get one of those there's stickers for around the hole punch, so I'm going to do that, and that should be good. Now I'm going to make a decal with my Cricut to put my name on it and make it nice and pretty. For the About Me page, I am going to leave it the same, but I'm not going to put passwords because I'm a little paranoid. What if I lose it and all that jazz? You do what's best for you when it comes to your planning. Now, for the events and volunteers page, I'm going to put my admin info and any people that I need to stay in contact with throughout the day or the year. So that's what I'm going to put right there. Now, for the the communication log, this is going to be used as a weekly parent email tracker. So general emails that I send to my parents each week, okay? Obviously the parents of my students. There are 32 lines, 64 total. So there's enough for the whole year, to be honest. And any individual emails, like say Johnny wasn't behaving or anything like that, that's stored separately, digitally, not in the planner. So I really wanted to keep this general because it's important for me to kind of keep track each week, and it's also like a part of our T-test. I'm in Texas, so we do our observations through this program called T-test, and that's another proof that I have communicated with all the parents of my students. Okay, so we have the yearly calendar. Let me move this over here. Sorry, I got distracted. So for these pages, I'm going to put the transparent circles that Erin Condren has. I think she's called them colorful clear circles or something like that. And I'm going to make, for the first time, a legend that's like a dashboard. I'm going to laminate it, hole punch it, and all that jazz. So that's going to be cool because I usually put it here or here. So I usually use the circles for the academic calendar, and that's pretty much it, what I do for this these two pages. Okay, so let's move on to the year at a glance. So I'm definitely putting my pacing calendars here. So I teach 2 preps right now. I probably will maybe someday teach 3, hopefully not. This is the first year I've actually taught just 2 preps, so hopefully it stays that way. Either way, there's a plan. So pacing calendars, I'm obviously going to cover January and put July and kind of start from there. I wish they would put or sell stickers for the months, and then you could just put them over this, because not everybody starts in January. So, okay, so I need to reorder the months and then just put my pacing calendar. So say January for child development, I'm doing infant development and Real Care Baby program from this date to this date. So that's what I'm going to do for that. That's nice. I like it. All right. So I have a classroom and I have a lab. So for classroom design, kind of tables, I have tables and how I'm going to position them in my classroom. I think we're going to stay the same as this year. So we'll see what happens. But this is where I'll draw it out and all that jazz. Okay, so over here on the next page, I'm going to make a list of items that are new and old. So things I already have, things that I need for my classroom design. I think it's going to be very short this year because all of us who are teachers didn't really get the chance to enjoy it all year. So it might be the same. I'm not sure. So for the following page, I have a lab design. Same concept as a classroom design, except for the lab. And this lab is for child development, and they do hands-on experiences, labs, to strengthen what they learned in the classroom. So I'm looking forward to designing that. I've been wanting to give the lab a little bit of a uplift, I guess you would call it. Not a makeover, because I have it where I kind of want it, but I want to put a little bit more. So the same thing, items that I need and items that I already have. So for this page, these are must remember notes. So say we have a new grading policy, gotta write that down. We have a new procedure for this, that, or the other. I'll write all that there. And the same thing for this page. Now for the pages that start before the months, this is going to be pre-planning and brainstorming ideas, maybe collaborations, anything of the sort that involves actual lesson planning. So that's going to go here. And it's going to continue here. For dates to remember, I really like the holiday stickers, and the reason why I put every single sticker is because I live in a very diverse city, and I want to be, and I also was born in a very diverse city. I was born in Austin, Texas, and diversity is very important to me. So I want to see all the holidays, and if it's a child or my students celebrate the same thing, I want to acknowledge that. Just say Happy Hanukkah, let's say that. Or, I'm trying to think what else. Happy New Chinese Year and stuff like that. So I want to give them that, I want them to feel like I respect them and I appreciate their culture and respect their culture without, overdoing it or being disrespectful or anything like that. So that's why I add these in here. But you're going to have to call me extra because I am going to order 2 more sheets of these because I like to put them on the monthly calendar and in the weekly. So let's go back to this real quick. So I wrote here the dates, and anything that happens in the month, I'll just write that there. And I love the metallic date dots. I love rose gold. These are from the monthly books, and I just love it. Now, I had to cover, so these are 2 stickers, so I had to cover it because the writing is too big. So I had to just do that. But I absolutely love it, and I think it's great. So here we go. And this is the other side. This is really what will be doing, and then I'll put like the holiday stickers there and all that jazz. So let's get to the weekly. I don't know how many preps I'm going to have, so I'm going to have to brainstorm different ways to handling if I have to put 3 preps or 2 preps. So I have 2 plans: Principles of Education, Child Development, Conference or Human Development. And on the other side, I have 504 or Conference, ARD or 504, Meetings or ARDs, and other, or I'm just going to leave it blank because this is beautiful. So that's why I'm going to probably leave that blank. I did order subject headers, and I'll share those with you when I actually set up my planner. I probably won't get back to the planner until I am absolutely sure what I'm going to teach for the fall. So on the dates, I put the holidays, and I put anything that's important that has to be done that day. I keep my lessons online, so under OneDrive, I keep everything there. So I use my teacher planner to chunk the days. So I get my lesson plan from OneDrive because I keep everything there. And then today we're going to do that part, this part, and that's how I spread it throughout the weeks. So that's how I lesson plan. I do not put like learning targets or anything like that because there's not enough room for that, because sometimes I have to cover 2-3 a learning target, and it's just not feasible with the space available. So that's how I lesson plan, and I will probably most likely share how I actually lesson plan online and how I do the pacing. So I'm going to go fast forward here to the checklist. I'm trying not to. Okay, let me. Okay, so I hope you're fast forwarding through this part, unless you just like to see people flip pages. Okay, so these 2 pages, I think this is going to be just notes, maybe some notes for checklists and things like that. This is the first year that I'm going to do this, and so I'll see how it works out and report throughout the year. The checklist is the most you could get in a teacher planner, which is 28 checklists. So let's talk about how many boxes it has. So there's 28 checklists, and they are at the top, there are 34 spaces. On the side where the names go, that is 36 spaces. I historically have had up to 35 kids. So that's going to be something that, I have to kind of think about, but they usually level out, so it's going to be okay. Now, For my classroom, I assign seats at the tables, and each one is numbered. So for confidentiality, I really do not feel comfortable putting names in my planner because somebody can take my planner when I'm not looking or whatever. That hasn't ever happened, but I don't want that to actually happen. So I'm going to put initials and then their tabletop number as the name. Okay. So at the top, grade level, 504, SPED, BIP, TLC, which is like an emotional support program, PBS, which is a behavioral support program, Pathways, and Gateway, which are alternative campuses, and then ESL, TELPAS is tied to ESL with languages like tests, and then sports, to make sure. I want to know how many of my students' coaches I can actually contact when they potentially misbehave. And the same thing with other teams. So if they're in debate or UIL or theater, I can contact their coach or instructor and be like, yo, Johnny's acting a fool. That's not nice. So that's something that I want to keep track of. Now, unfortunately, because it's high school, we do have stay away orders. And so if I have two kids who absolutely do not get along, I have to move them if I get an email that says so-and-so and so-and-so gotta stay away from each other. So I have to keep track of all that, and that's something that I'll probably put in one of these, and obviously get that taken care of. But most of the time I get stay away orders for students who I don't even know who the other student is, who they have to stay away from. So that's interesting to me. But yeah, it's for everybody's protection. It works, actually. Well, I'm also really good at conflict resolution, so I don't really have lots of fights or anything like that. Like, I actually never had a fight in my class. I mean, I've had kids misbehave because they're teenagers, but nothing like that. So these things for stay away usually just happen outside the classroom, and it is what it is. So, move seat. Now, I only have 36 name slots. So, when I actually do this, I'm going to put moved seat up here, and I said, well, Johnny is going to have to move to 14, and 14 needs to move back to 2. So I'm going to write that as well on the name. Let me see if I can give you an example real quick. So let me write this down without moving the camera so much. Let's see. So, TV number 1 to number 14. Okay, so that's, I hope you can see that. So, TV 1 to number 14. And then I'll write that number here where it says move seat. Okay? So the next thing is something new as well that I kind of want to try to see what happens this next year. If I offer extra, I don't really offer extra credit. So this year, well, this new year that's coming up, I want to do, if you come to Chittering or you're really asking a genuine question about the work over email, and you do this 3 times every 9 weeks, I'll give you some extra credit, whether it's like bonus points on a quiz or forgive a formative assignment and all that jazz. So that's something I'm thinking about doing. I'm still reflecting on it, but it looks like I may end up going that way. So, for Robot Baby Club, so if you are a child development teacher, and you probably already know about the Real Care Baby program, and they're robots, they really are. They're computer controlled, and you can schedule everything on the computer, and then once they go out with the students, the computer just inside it remembers the schedule that you assigned, and there's a simulation for the student. So I need a lot of help with that, because it is no joke. We have to clean, we have to organize, we have to put up bracelets for it. I mean, it is a whole thing. And those kids who help me either in class or for the Real Care Baby program, those kids do get bonus points. They usually get a formative forgiven, because this is a lot of work. And again, I have a disability, so I need all the help I can get sometimes, especially and I'm short, so for the tall people things when my husband's not around, I have my kids help me with those tall things as well. And, I really appreciate my students, because they have been so loving and tolerant of me as a teacher with a disability. And they are so caring about me, and I do appreciate that about them. So, you can see what I did here. I put tabs. So, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Now, I'm hoping my schedule stays the same. It has been the same for a while. So, hopefully, actually, it's been the same since I started. So, I hope they never take away my 7th period. I love it. So, because I love to just go back, and then at the end, done. I love that. So, I divided it, first period, 4 checklists, one each 9 weeks. And historically, my first period is Principles of Education and Training, and that has the least amount of students enrolled. So, that's why they only get 4. Now, if there are any changes like that, I can make copies of this and then, put it in there and call it a day. Another thing, 5 for second period, 4th, 5th, and 6th, they all have 5 checklists, because historically, those are huge classes. So, if I need more space, then I can do that. I can always make a copy of this. I have extras that I have not used from previous years, so I can always uncoil those and put those in the binder. So that's what I really love about this binder, is that you can put more stuff in and take out if you need. So I think this is a great idea. I love it very much so. So I don't think I'm going to put any more labels at the top. I think this is enough for me this year. So let's continue our journey. So that's that. Okay, so, let me show you the stickers. They're beautiful. Look how pretty. So cool. Okay, so, sorry, I use my cat voice when I speak to my cat. I'm like, you're so cool. So, it's one of those things. Okay, so, look at the beautiful silver. I love these stickers. Let's move over here. I think that's it. Okay. And I love these because sometimes I make a mistake in planning, so I just slap a sticker on it. Or I use one of these dashboards, which, get ready, I'm going to show you how to make this in a second. So, this is fun. Okay, so, that's that. Here's another one. Ooh, these are pretty. I noticed there's no asterisk anymore, so that's pretty interesting. I do love the rose gold, gold, and silver. It's beautiful. And then, of course, we have our folder. Okay. And we have the sheet protectors. I always get 3 sheet protectors, and if I need more, I'll just add them, but I don't think I will. So for this page, I'm going to put the district calendar. Over here on the back, I'm going to put the UIL calendar. Then the hex, oh my goodness. Nobody put a hex on me. That sounded nice. All right. Peace and love. So HES cognitive matrix. That's going to go there so I can make sure I'm on point with my lessons. And then pacing calendar number 1. Pacing calendar number 2, like the official ones that we develop. And hopefully I don't have to add anything out back here because I only will have 2 preps. Hopefully that's how that goes down. So that's that. Now let's talk about this neat little thing that I made. So, sorry. All right. So, as you can see, these have the coil. So what I did, I'm going to do this. Hopefully you can see. Okay, so you just cut like that. Like towards the edge of it. So you can see that I didn't actually do that the first time. I just kind of put it in my hole puncher. And I used this X-Acto hole puncher and it worked fine. It's a cheapie, but it worked fine. Now, obviously this is not perfect. So when I figured out the problem, I did it again. Now I did move this. So I didn't have to move the little pages here, and I put glue dots on the back. So you can't, well, you can probably see them, but if not, they're right there. You can see that right there. It's not a big deal to me. So I just moved it a little bit, and there you go. It goes in well, it flips well, and I enjoyed it a lot. And I hope this video helped somebody. I mean, we're all teachers. We're trying to inspire, and I hope that you have a great new year when it starts. Hopefully we get to go back to our classrooms and see our students that we are in this for and really want to make a difference for them. Well, y'all take care, and I will be back with another video hopefully soon. Y'all take care. Bye.